Hi guys, and welcome back to my Wargames hobby channel. I just thought I'd give you an update of what I've been up to. In fact, I got a little bit waylaid. I think you probably know that I've been painting up a load of Napoleonic 28mm Austrians, and I've sort of was getting on quite well with those. And then sometimes what happens to me is I get distracted, and it takes me a little while to get back into them. The reason I've got a little bit distracted is this. I've just bought another set of rules, the Saga Age of Hannibal rules. I've actually been, over the years, I've played a lot of Saga. I've bought every supplement that they've released so far, and I've got about a dozen or so sort of various armies that I can play. And a friend of mine bought the Age of Hannibal rules, and I hadn't, but I wasn't sure. I bought another set of ancient skirmish rules. I won't say which ones they are, for now anyway. I bought them because a couple of other guys did, and we were going to play them. And I've played them a few times, and I've had a few games here on the table to try and get used to them. This is the other set of rules, and I just can't get on with them. You know, sometimes they just don't gel, do they? They just don't work out. So I'm going to get rid of them because they're just not doing it for me. So I decided I would buy the Age of Hannibal to replace them with. I did in fact have two armies for this other set of rules all ready to go, but obviously Saga, they're based slightly differently, so that's what I've been doing. I want to actually use these rules at home to get used to them. I've had a few games already. I've played Carthaginians, and I've played the Romans just the once, and I've played the Gauls. I haven't played the others, and you know, I know Saga anyway. And once you get used to the board, as you know, there's a board that comes with each faction, then it's normally quite good fun. So what I've been doing, the distraction I had was, because I want to, in between doing painting, I like to have sort of games on my table here in my bolt hole. I wanted to rebase the troops that I've got, and I'm going to show you now first of all what I've been doing. Right, so here we are. I've got a large Dacian or Dacian, however you want to pronounce it. I think Dacia is the proper pronunciation. I've done a large Dacian army, and they're quite sort of easily changed to Gauls. I mean, to be honest, they're all warriors, so there's not a great deal of difference anyway. So I've managed to quite easily rebase my Dacians to count as a sort of as a Gaul army. I haven't got everything that is listed on the Gaul list. In fact, if you look at the list here, I'll show you that now. You can see that you can have warriors on horses or on foot. Levies can have bows or javelins. Hearthcards can be on a chariot that have got javelins or horse, and the warlords on a horse or a chariot. So what I've got, and you can see I've got a warlord there. In fact, although you can't probably see it very well, it's an ancient Britain chariot, but that'll do for what I'm going to do at home. I might buy a proper chariot for those at a later stage, although I have got a mounted warlord if I want as well. I've gone for 5 points of warriors. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I've gone for a point of javelin men. I haven't got bowmen, but I've got javelin men. So that's a 6-point army for the Gauls, which are in fact a very strong board. In fact, I like playing Gauls. They've got a couple of really powerful things you can do with them. But there's no cavalry. If I want cavalry, I've got some Sarmatian knights, which I could convert to these rules. I'm not sure I want to, because they don't really look Gaulish. Sarmatian knights were quite unique, and they did have a lot of armour. I may well buy some Gaul cavalry at some point, but for now, just to play these rules at home, I'll just stick to what I've got. 5 units of warriors and 1 of javelins. What I will probably do is not use them like this. I will actually split them, turn them around a bit. I should probably do a unit of 10 there, another unit of 10, and then maybe 2 8s and then a 4. This is just a dice generator really. So that's how I shall probably use them, like that. So it'll be 1 2 3 4 5 6, and if you count the warlord, 7 units. So they'll generate 7 dice. So that's the Gauls. And then the other units I've got, there we are. I'm just going to put my camera down there so you can see. It's Roman. Now the first thing you'll notice, those that have played these rules or know them, is that they are early Imperial Roman, what I've got here. But in fact, in the book, they should be Republican Roman. Well, I haven't got a Republican Roman army, and I have got these early Imperial Romans, which are now were no longer going to be used. So I've rebased them to play Saga with. And all right, if you're a purist, you would say you can't use them, but in fact, you know, they're a few hundred years out, I know, but it doesn't really matter, because the Romans, in fact, if you look at the army lists, it suggests hearth guards, which can only be on foot. Well, I'm using these 2 blue units here, 2 units of, if you like, Praetorian sort of hearth guards. And then the warriors, they've got listed, they can be hastari. I mean, I don't know the Republican terms very well, or the Republican army, I've never had one, but hastari and principes. So what I've done is I'm counting the 2 of the units of warriors here as hastari, and the other 2, which in fact are normally not early Imperial Roman auxilia, are the principes, or the other way around, whichever you prefer. The reason is that, to be honest, the auxilia, in many cases, were just as well trained as legionaries. Legionaries were made to sort of stay in formation mainly, and the auxilia could be used as a bit more flexibility to take on warriors in open ground, in non-open ground. But there were some auxiliary units that were used just like the legionaries were. So I don't think, you know, for me, that's not a problem. So these are all warriors, but they're 2 different troop types. As it happens, the Carthaginian list has 2 units, have 2 types of warriors. You can have citizen warriors, and you can have contingents, or what I've called allied contingents. So you could argue the Romans are in fact the same. You know, these are because the only difference between a Roman legionary and an auxiliary is that the Roman legionary have to be citizens of Rome. I believe that is correct, and that you can serve all your entire life as an auxiliary, but you can't become a citizen. But if you have children, they can become citizens of Rome, and then they could go into the legionaries. I believe that's right. I'm sure someone will put me right on that if I'm wrong. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to use my early Imperial Romans against the Gauls. Yes, or I'm using Dacians and instead of Gauls, and I'm using early Imperial Rome rather than Republican Rome. But you know, for what I want to do at home, that's fine. In fact, I hope one day that Saga will do an army list that includes the early Imperial Romans. Then I'll be set up ready, won't I? That'd be brilliant. So you can see I got a little bit sort of distracted there, because I would like to have a game, and I like to, in my spare time, I don't like to just paint. I like to do various things, and I'm due to have another game on my table, and I just fancy having another game with the Romans. I've only used them once, and I used them okay. In fact, I think I won with them. I played Greeks, and they beat the Greeks. I've since played Carthaginians, and I've played, I think I lost with those, and I've played Gauls, and I've lost and won with those as well, I think. So they're fun games to play, and I just want to have a bit more practice, because the chap that I play at the moment online, we obviously can't do it at home. He sets the whole thing up at his house, and we play via Zoom. He rolls all the dice, and I just tell him what I want doing with my units. Anyway, the chap I'm playing, which is Graham, he's a seriously good player, and I've got to know what I'm doing. If I don't know what I'm doing against Graham, he'll take me apart. So I need to practice a little bit more. So I've now got 2 armies I can practice with. I might well do a third at some point. I'm not sure when, because I've got too many other jobs on the go at the moment, so it won't be for a little while, but these 2 will keep me going. And you can see over here, let me just come back over here, you can see that my Austrians are still on the go, but it's slow progress. I'm just having a break from them really, because I've been painting a lot of white coated infantry. Excuse the mess on my desk, but that's my working area. But there we go, you can see those other Austrians. I've just put a sort of a wash on them, dirtied them up a bit because they're on campaign. There they are, you can see they've got dirty trousers, and I like dirty figures. They're not going to be nice and pristine, are they? Not if they're on campaign. I've got to do a little bit more. I've got to put more white on the cross belts to make those stand out a bit. Now I've got to varnish them and then just do the bases, and then it's another 8 done. So I am getting there. Right, so anyway, I'm not going to play that game yet. I will do it one day, and I'll report back and let you know how it's gone on. But the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to show you this now. Look, I'm going to build this building, this Norse dwelling. Not that I need it for this game I'm going to be doing, but I just fancied. I think I told you I bought 3 different buildings some time ago. Because I lack buildings at home, and what I've done is I bought this Arabic village compound, which I've got to do. I've also bought, so I can do bolt action, a ruined hamlet collection, which I think is 3 buildings. Anyway, I've not had a chance to do any of those yet, but I just thought today I would make a start on having a go at building this Norse dwelling, and as you can see, there's a fair bit to it, and I'll let you know how I'm getting on. I'll take a few still photographs. I'm not going to talk through it. I mean, there's a lot of work, a lot of taking these bits off the boards, and there's a lot of gluing to do. So every so often I'll take a photograph and I'll talk through, how it's gone. So there we go. That's what I've been up to and what I've been doing this last week. I just thought I'd let you know that I'm still around, busying away. The funny thing is, I've got my my grandson coming tomorrow. He's staying with us for 3 days because both his parents are key workers and they just can't get time off at the moment. And although their son, because they're key workers, has been at school for the last few weeks, this week's half term and the school isn't open, and they've really got a problem. They just can't not work. They're both doing very important jobs. My daughter-in-law's a matron at a hospital, so you can imagine how busy she is. And my son is an instructor in the police, and he's got a course on at the moment, and he's away. So we just have to help, So he's coming here for 3 days. So I'm not going to get a lot done out here, am I really? Because he's very demanding. He likes playing with his granddad, and I like playing with him as well, of course. But I might get out here in the evenings if I get a chance, but I much prefer to do things out here during the day, really. But we'll see how it goes. But certainly I'm not going to get as much done the next 3 days as I have been. Right, anyway, in the meantime, keep safe, keep well, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.